Welcome back to Eyes Open, the show where we delve into and recreate the eyes of the movie monsters and creatures we all know and love. My name is Mark, and today we're kicking off the month of October by looking at the eyes from Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt's Vampires in 1994's Interview with the Vampire. This film is full of creepy-ass looking vampire eyes, and the eyes from Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt's characters are no exception. So for this episode, we'll be recreating both pairs of eyes, and finish with a set of them green and icy blue eyes. So let's start biting some necks, sip on some red wine, and start telling our story to Mr. Robot, and get our eyes open on Interview with the Vampire. So we start off with just a nice night in San Francisco. A journalist starts to interview a stranger that tells him that he's a vampire, being over 200 years old. At first, he's skeptical, but after we get an up-close shot of Brad Pitt, the journalist is like, hot shit, tell me more. Who is played by Christian Slater, who just the year before this film shared a scene with Brad Pitt in the film True Romance.
Well, they were here, and they said that they were going to go there. And they went.
Brad Pitt starts telling his story in 18th century New Orleans, where he was 24 and out one night and is attacked by a vampire. A Tom freaking Cruise vampire. To which he says he'll give him the choice he never had. So Brad is all like, hey, let's get our eyes open. And is turned into a vampire and is amazed at all the changes he feels. However, he quickly comes to regret his decision and finds feasting on humans immoral. Whereas Tom Cruise is just all about it. Leaving Brad with the vibes of, ah shit man. But once Kirsten Dunst's character is tragically brought into the mix, this all changes for the vampires. And with actors of this caliber, you get in-depth and vulnerable performances that are just great. The vampire makeup effects and eye contacts are a thumbs up over here. And bringing Stan Winston aboard for the disintegration sequence of Tom Cruise's vampire, once he's on the floor, is now an animatronic effect that works seamlessly. Look at that shit. And apparently there was a lengthy makeup effects process in order to achieve the translucent skin vampire look. The actors would hang upside down, causing the blood vessels in their faces to bulge out. The makeup effects artist would then trace over the swollen veins. Sounds rough, but hey, look how that shit came out.
Would you like being food for the immortals?
Holy shit. But I think it's time we go and check out those eyes.
Let me turn on the light. I thought vampires didn't like the light. We love it. Don't be frightened. I want this opportunity. I'm flesh and blood, but not human. I haven't been human for 200 years.
White coward of a vampire who prowls the night killing rats and poodles who could have finished us both. Condemn me to hell! Hell.
You feel it like no other creature because you are a vampire. I have a gift for you.
How about the old stake through the heart? Nonsense. Coffins. How about coffins? Coffins. Coffins, unfortunately, are a necessity.
And there you go, eyeballs from Interview with the Vampire. With the story of Interview with the Vampire being told to an interviewer about the life of death, love, and guilt over the past 200 years, maybe the critics at the time weren't all that amazed with the film, but shit man, I love this movie. Interview would go on to be nominated for 2 Oscars for Best Original Score and for Best Art Direction. And with a worldwide box office bringing in over $200 million, Interview ranks in the top of vampire films, in my opinion. And come on, do I really need to remind you? Don't forget about them eyeballs. Next week's episode for the month of October, we're looking at another set of eyes from Jason Voorhees in Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. So be on the lookout next week and, keep your eyes open.